What's up, all you beautiful, gorgeous, sexy people out there? This is some Madden 15 gameplay. Obviously, Madden 16 hasn't come out yet. They haven't really released any substantial gameplay just yet. I imagine they'll probably come out maybe in a month, maybe a month and a half, somewhere in there. So this is just some Madden 15 gameplay I threw together really quickly, just so I can have something I can talk over, something I can cover. Just so I'm not really going to go in depth over the gameplay, and it's probably not going to even last the entire game, but I want something to throw out there. So as you guys know, E3 has started today, or it started yesterday, but EA had their conference today, and they went over like 5 to 10 minutes of Madden. They talked about what's new in the game, or some of the tweaks they made, just as like a press conference pretty much, talking about their game. And to me, in my opinion, based on what I saw, based on what they were talking about, there was not enough substantial gains in the Madden gameplay itself. They made a few minor tweaks here and there. The trailer looks kind of alright, but of course, we know what to expect from Madden. They're going to make the trailer look neat, look awesome, but in the end, it's not going to be like that whatsoever. Now, as far as the gameplay itself goes, it looks like a minor improvement over Madden 15. I want something substantial. I want a big leap as far as graphics go, and if you're looking for a new graphic leap with the new Madden game, you're not going to get it, because this is not a great enhancement graphically. That being said, I want some tweaks with the animations. I want it to where, you guys know if you play Madden 15, there are times when you're running the ball where you just get upended and you're flying through the air like a rag doll. That's not something that happens in real life. Obviously, I don't want to get stuck in animations anymore. They didn't really talk about that too much. What they did talk about is there's going to be one new game mode, which is a game mode actually it seems interesting. It seems like something I myself could get into, but I don't know how that's going to go. This game mode is called Draft Champions. Pretty much they explained it as it's a combination of Ultimate Team and fantasy football. You guys know if you play in the fantasy league that you're drafting players. Well, to describe this, they describe this as you're going each and every round picking one player out of 3. From what they said, it looked like it was like 15 rounds, but that doesn't make sense to me because there's 22 players on a starting roster in football. I'm thinking that maybe my numbers are off, but from what I saw, it was like 15 rounds, somewhere in there, and you're choosing between, they have cards pop up showing their attributes. It's legends, it's new player, or not new players, it's probably rookies, obviously, and current players, current pros, legends. In that sense, that's how it's like Madden Ultimate Team. But anyways, their draft card's going to come up, it's going to show their stats, and you pick between 3 of these players. And what you do with them is, you can either play solo mode, or you can either play in online. And then after that, I might be wrong here, so don't quote me. It might be like 1 or 2 games, somewhere in there. But after that, you can draft an entirely new team and go through the same process once again. So you start with one team, you go through and draft another team and go online, beat your opponent and kick his A, and then come back and draft another team, which seems pretty cool. It seems like something I can be interested in, something you guys might be interested in, because it's completely randomized. You don't know who's going to come up, you don't know what 3 players are going to come up, you just go off their stats and then take it online and try to beat someone. So anyways, as far as the gameplay goes, as I said, guys, they didn't make too many improvements, they didn't make enough improvements. They focused mainly on the passing game, which is not what I wanted to see. I wanted them to make strides in the running game, I wanted them to make strides in the offensive line blocking, I wanted them to make strides in the trenches, but they didn't. You guys know the NFL, as I've said many times, is an offensive driven league, and that's what they focus on with this. In Madden 16, they focus on the passing game. Now when they say this, I thought, okay, that's fine, as long as you make sure the defensive end gets enough attention to it to where the offense isn't completely overpowered. So here we go, let's jot down these 3 changes they apparently made in the passing game. The first position they focused on was the QB, and what they said they did was make it to where you can throw a low pass, and then make it to where you can throw a high pass if you're a QB. Now I'm thinking here, guys, in NCAA football, I'm pretty sure you could throw low passes. I'm pretty sure back in the day in Madden, you could throw high passes. So I don't know what they're talking about here with innovation. I don't know what they're talking about here with bringing a new feature to this game, to the gameplay, because I'm pretty sure they've had that in every single game, unless they took it out recently. But I'm pretty sure I remember them adding that in NCAA football or previous Maddens way back in the day. So that's what they did to the QB. That's the only thing they did to the QB. Based on what they says, you can throw the ball low and you can throw the ball high. Now what I did like, one thing I actually did like that they did, is they made changes to the wide receiver and the catches. I'm pretty sure they said they added new animations and this wasn't an actual E3 press conference, but they did say they add some, like in some random post, some article I read that they did add some new animations as far as catches. But what they did with the wide receiver was they added those 3 new catches. The first is called the possession catch, which, as you guys know, is where you bring in the ball. You're not worried about gaining extra yards after the catch. This is really where you want to focus on getting that possession catch in heavy traffic, bringing it in instead of running after the catch, which is, speaking of the second catch, is actually called RAC, which is running after the catch. You're probably going to do that in those drag routes. You're going to do that in the out route. You're going to do that in the flag route, slant route, somewhere where you want to just get the ball off quickly and then go and run. Maybe not where you're too worried about the possession, but then again, that gives you a chance of dropping the ball. That's one of those things where in real life, if you're running after the catch, not focused on bringing the ball in, that's going to be an immediate drop. Now the third catch that they added, apparently, so you have the RAC, which is running after the catch, you have the possession catch, and these are all different buttons now. You don't push triangle anymore, maybe for one of them. I'm pretty sure the X button is the actual possession catch as I picked the ball off. But anyways, they changed the buttons up to where you can actually utilize the buttons, more buttons, and bring the ball in a specific way, whatever way you want to. And the final catch after the possession catch in the RAC is the aggressive catch, which is where you're going deep, you're throwing that Hail Mary, and you want to pluck the ball out of the air at its highest point. Those are really those one-on-one matchups that you have. You want to just bring the ball in aggressively, where it's probably not going to be turned over, but you need the ball at its highest point. And those are the 3 catches. I'm going to repeat them again just for you guys that maybe weren't listening to me. It's the possession catch, the RAC, run after the catch, and of course the aggressive catch. Now with all these changes, supposed changes to offense, they have to tweak the defense. They have to focus some of their attention on defense, or this game is going to be OP, and that's not something we want. That we don't want the offense to be OP. For a football simulator, you have to have it balanced on both sides. Finally, defensively, this is the last thing I'm going to talk about, guys. Besides, they made those slight graphic improvements, which is just ridiculous. They did not do enough graphically to improve this game whatsoever. Defensively, now you can play the wide receiver from what they say, which is mean usually in Madden you play the ball, you bat the ball away, you try to intercept it. Those are really the only 2 things you can do. But apparently now you can attack the wide receiver instead of attacking the ball. And what they said was you can actually tackle the wide receiver, try to draw the ball loose, hit him when he's catching the ball, stuff like that. Try to get the ball out of his hands and try to get it back over to your team or get an incomplete pass. Now what I'm thinking about this, guys, is you can do those things already if you get a big enough hit, of course, but what I would have really liked them to see, add some coverages to where you can jam your man. If you're playing cornerback, how many times Revis Island, Richard Sherman, they jammed their man. I want to be able to see my corners jamming the wide receiver at the line of scrimmage, preventing them getting off the ball. That rarely happens when you're actually playing defense. That may happen for the computer, but I have never seen that happen for my cornerbacks themselves. So anyways, guys, that's going to wrap it up. They made passing game changes. That's really all they talked about, and they talked about this draft champions game mode, which I'm actually probably going to play myself because that seems pretty interesting, something new, something that you can enjoy on my channel. So anyways, guys, that's going to wrap it up for me. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope you guys learned something new if you didn't hear about this already. So stay frosty, guys. Remember, I love you. Stick tuned for more Madden 16 content, maybe more E3 content, depending on how things go, depending on what games are actually announced. So stay frosty, guys, and I love you.